In this week's video, I thought that it would be cool to show you some of the gear I take when I go motorcycle camping. Before we get into it a whole lot, I should add that the word best is somewhat subjective. So this might be kind of the best setup for me, but it might not be the best setup for you. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I use, and hopefully that helps you out. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Andrew, this is Touring Midwest, and we're gonna go over some of my favorite camping gear. I've kind of been collecting stuff over the years to put together something that works really well for me for motorcycle camping, and this is what I've got so far. So starting out, we've got my tent from REI. This is the REI Half Dome 2. It does have a rain fly, but I just left it off for this video so we can kind of look at it. And I did a video about this tent when I first got it, and it's gotten pretty good results, so I appreciate everybody who's watched that. And just to let you know, I've used it a few times since then, and I really like it. It's got everything, all the features and everything that I wanted in a tent. It's small, compact, lightweight, easily packs onto the bike, and that's exactly what I was going for when I picked it out. So it's held up really well. Rain, stays nice and dry. It just works really well. So this is the 2017 version. I know they changed it a little bit in 2018. I don't know about 2019. Not exactly certain on that. I don't want to go deep into features on all this because I want to keep this video at like a reasonable length of time. So I'll put the link to that video in the description down below. You can check that out. Now you got your tent set up. The next thing you're going to want to do is a sleeping bag and a sleeping pad. Now I went for quite a while without a sleeping pad, but it really is nice just to have a little bit of space between you and the ground, especially on those chilly nights. It helps keep you a little bit nice, a little bit warm and things like that. So the trick to getting a sleeping pad is find something that can be compact, lightweight, not take up much room on the bike, but still give you a little bit of support. And the sleeping pad that I chose is the Sea to Summit. This is the Sea to Summit Comfort Plus SI. This is the long version, which I really wanted because, you know, I wanted something that would, I'm almost 6 foot tall, so this works really good. I don't know about the shorter version because I didn't buy that. Now you are going to have to pay up for the Sea to Summit, but it is well worth it. Once it's inflated, you can also add more air to it by just blowing into this hole here. Just blow it up to your desired firmness and put the cap back on, and you can lay on it, see what's comfortable. If it's too full, you can just pop this open and push the button here, and it's going to let air out for you. And when you want to deflate it and pack it down, just pull out this tab and it'll let all the air out. You can squeeze it down and roll it up. This thing packs down nice and small, fits in this little bag right here, so it doesn't take up hardly any space on the motorcycle, which is exactly what you need. For most items, for motorcycle touring, motorcycle camping, I tend to turn a lot to like backpacking stuff because it's kind of the same idea there. You want lightweight, packable, that kind of stuff. But you want it fully functional, you want it to work well, and you want it to be comfortable. So I've kind of applied that to all this stuff. You'll find this stuff in backpacking stores, like REI for instance. The one piece of gear I've got for motorcycle camping that's not necessarily as packable as I'd like it to be is my sleeping bag. This is a synthetic filled sleeping bag. This is the Dolomite from North Face, and I love this sleeping bag. It's super comfortable, it's nice and warm. It's full size, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want a mummy style sleeping bag. I wanted to have room to move around. I'm not a small guy necessarily, so this is a really nice sleeping bag and kind of ticks the boxes for me, other than the fact that it's not super packable. This is probably the biggest piece of camping gear that I own when it's packed on the motorcycle. And I don't have the stuff sack for it. I can't find it, but normally I just stuff it wherever I can, or I'll put it in a compression sack if I needed to get it as small as possible, and a waterproof compression sack if I need to strap it onto the bike somewhere rather than putting it in the tour trunk. But this is a really nice sleeping bag, and the biggest decision you're going to have to make when it comes to motorcycle camping and sleeping bags is, do you want to go down, which is much more lightweight, much more compact and packable, but has its drawbacks, such as if it does happen to get wet, it takes a very long time to dry out, and when it's wet it has no R value whatsoever. Where synthetic, on the other hand, will keep you nice and warm even if it's wet, and it dries much faster than down does. So some things to consider when you're talking about sleeping bags. Another thing I really like to have when I'm on a motorcycle trip is a pillow, and you have a lot of options when it comes to camp pillows. This is just one that I picked up at Walmart. It's from Coleman. It's pretty basic, but it is nice because it's not super big. You can fold it up like this, and it's kind of self-contained, just a little pillow, a little bit easier to fit in your saddlebag. But if you needed more space one way or another, you could always just keep it out like this, and it's pretty flat. It does the trick. Like I said, there's many options. There's inflatable pillows and all sorts of different things, so just look around. So I recently did a video about this as well, but this is super nice for motorcycle camping because it's very flat, very lightweight, but you need light when you're on a camping trip. It's gonna get dark, you're gonna want some light, and this is a really cool little lantern from a company called Luminade. It also has an emergency cell phone charger on it if you need it. It's solar powered, so you don't have to worry about not having batteries. Basically blows up just like that. Adjustable carrying handle, and you can also hang it by this handle, but it puts out an awesome amount of light. It's got 3 different settings plus an SOS blinking thing in case there's an emergency. But just to have this at your campsite is really going to be very helpful. You can't tell here how bright this is, but it's really lights up a nice area, and it's bright white, really nice. I've got a video all about this. I'll put that in the description below as well, or up in the YouTube card up here, wherever it is, and you can check that out when you get a moment. But very handy little light. Highly recommend this. So we're on a bit of a comfort kick with the sleeping pad and sleeping bag and the pillow and blah blah blah, but you're not generally going to come back from your ride and just go straight to the tent, right? You want to be able to sit around the campfire and enjoy some time with friends, have a beer or two, or smoke a cigar maybe. Just enjoy the evening by the fire, unwind a little bit. And the problem we always had was it wasn't very comfortable. A lot of the campgrounds have picnic tables, but you can't lean back really, and you just want to be able to sit in a real chair, especially when you're at a rally. You've just been walking around and riding motorcycle for hundreds of miles. You want to be able to sit, which is where a pack chair like this comes into play. Now this one's an off-brand, to be honest. It's from a company that I wanted to work with that apparently no longer exists because I can't find them anymore. But I really like these chairs, and they're extremely similar to several other chairs that are available on Amazon. Different price ranges and things like that. But these are rated at like 300 pounds, so maybe even a bit more. It holds me no problem. I plop down in it. No problem at all. But the best part about this chair is it packs down into this. Now this is probably just slightly bigger than like a Nalgene water bottle. Don't take up any room in your saddlebag. I can fit several of these. I've got 2 of them. I fit both of them on my bike for trips, no problem at all. Not very heavy, super lightweight. carrying straps, both ends. It's even got the molly chain, I think they call this. So theoretically, you could even just strap it to another piece of luggage outside of your bike, because if it gets wet, you know, who cares? So probably the best part about camping is waking up in the morning and having coffee. So I always be sure to bring my percolator. Not certain that this is the best piece of gear to bring on a motorcycle trip because it does take up quite a bit of space. I could get a smaller one, but then if people are with me, I can't make as much coffee. So I always bring the percolator. And since it would be very difficult to bring a typical camp stove with you when you're motorcycle touring, I went with the MSR Pocket Rocket. This thing is pretty slick, doesn't take up any space at all on your motorcycle. You just open it up, mount it onto a butane canister, light it up, and set your percolator on there, and you got coffee in no time. The one thing about motorcycle camping is all the gear does eventually take up space, no matter how small and compact and lightweight it is. It fills up the space in your bike. So especially if I'm 2-up camping, I've got a passenger on the bike, I might need a little more space for clothes and things like that. I turn to the Rick Rack Top Deck 2. This is a super nice bag, very well constructed. I love this bag. It comes with a rain cover. It's very durable, like I said, well constructed. The best part is the Rick Rack mounting system, which very easily attaches to your luggage rack on your tour trunk, tightens down via these clamps here, no straps, no messing around. I can have this thing on my bike in under a minute and off my bike in under a minute as well. So this is a really nice piece of luggage. Highly recommend the Top Deck 2 from Rick Rack. And I've got a video all about this as well. So I'll put that up here in the card or down there. You'll find it. So I think that's it. That's kind of a look at the gear, not all the gear, but a lot of the essential pieces of gear that I bring motorcycle camping. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. You can find that by tapping on this little icon that's gonna show up here soon. If you'd like to see another video from me, you can check out this one here, and here's one that YouTube thinks you might like. Hopefully that all works for you guys. Thank you very, very much. Stay safe out there as always. We'll catch you in the next video from Touring Midwest.